And now let's go back to Battlegrounds for balance changes. Holy freaking frick. Joss.
Holy freaking frick.
Yeah, just absolutely ridiculous. So George the Fallen getting a buff. I'm so stoked about this. His hero power, Boon of Light. It costs 3 gold now, down from 4. Because they looked at Reno and went, that seems strong. Maybe we should give George a break. You know?
Yeah, I feel like this is something we've been talking about since the get-go. That 4 was just way too much.
Yeah, well, I don't know. In the early days, I thought it was fine. But as time has gone on, and especially as Tyrion has continued to dominate, and I go, yeah, maybe 4 mana is a little much for poor George. You know, him and Carl have been through some things. Maybe let's cut the guy a break. But I like this change a lot. I think it's great. I'm actually excited to get offered George again, whereas before I was kind of like, yeah, I guess I'll take him. I hope there's not an Nefarian in this game. Well, now, though, with Unstable Ghoul as well.
Always a Nefarian.
The potential, anyways. Now you're just hoping they're not paying attention and they're not drafting the Unstable Ghoul. But yeah, great change. Awesome. Moving on to what's going on to Minions. Sneed's Old Shredder going down from tier 6 to tier 5. I like this change as well because I was never excited to see Sneed's Old Shredder offered when I discovered tier 6 or when I was at tier 6 and rolling.
Yeah, I mean, you know how much I love random, and you know how much I love Battleground or
Sky Golem.
Sky Golem, yes, thank you. I don't think I've ever picked Sneeds. Like, I think I did one time, and then like it popped out a shifter, and I was like, "You're dumb, and I don't like you."
Yes, yeah, it's not the best. I don't mind it. I'm glad it's down at tier 5. Much happier to see a 5/7 with a solid death rattle at that tier in the game than at tier 6. But that's not all. Mama Bear is also getting changed. It used
getting buffed.
Yeah, it used to be a 4/4 beast that whenever you summoned a beast, give it +4/+4. It is now a 5/5 beast that reads whenever you summon a beast, give it +5/+5. I find this questionably unnecessary.
Yeah, like, I don't know. Why?
The problem I see with beasts is finding Mama Bear, not Mama Bear's capability.
Exactly. I never find her when I'm going like token beast type builds. Like, I can never find her. She doesn't exist.
Yeah, same.
And I'm doing like mechs and I discover a tier 6 and it's like, oh, have a Mama Bear. How about another one? Did you want it this time?
Well,
and I'm like, no.
This is the thing I've learned rather recently, which is that Mama Bear can allow you to do a late game switch to beasts because of the summoning. That's the awkward thing about beasts in the first place, is that because of Mama Bear and their other summon buff based minions, you kind of want to replay minions you've already got in play. So if you find a Mama Bear like pretty early on into like your triples late game and like your late game comp is not that great, do a beast switch. You can totally make it work. And it can be kind of gross. But whatever the case is, this does make Mama Bear a little bit harder to snipe, which is good. But yeah, Mama Bear was already really powerful. Now Mama Bear is just more powerful. Sure, why not?
Yep.
Why not? Also, they adjusted the starting cost of Tavern Tier 6. I will be the first to admit, I don't think I ever knew that it actually started at 11 gold. It now the starting cost of Tavern Tier 6 has been reduced to 10 gold. Never even registered with me that was the case. This is interesting though, because it means if you're at tier 5 long enough that it becomes 0 gold, you can actually double tier 4 long enough it becomes 0 gold. Could you double it? No, because tier 5 would be too expensive. Never mind. Ignore me. I'm stupid. I'm an idiot. But you could still double level from 5, which you wouldn't have been able to before at 11. So that's cool.
You could technically, but you're sitting there for a long time.
Yeah, I guess it wouldn't matter.
I don't think it would benefit you at all. I think you would have lost the game by the time you're doubling from 4 to 6.
I've had some games. They're not common, but yeah. Cool nonetheless. The dev said that we got dev comments with this, by the way, that tier 6 has a lot of exciting minions, and we'd like players to have more of an opportunity to reach it than they have. We're also trying to make Tavern tier 6 more interesting by adding some of these powerful new minions. I would say they have very much succeeded. Let's talk about heroes that they've removed. Putricide, as you kind of alluded to when we were talking about heroes. Putricide is gone. They said that they'd like to go back to the drawing board on Putricide. They're going to disable him for now to make way for their new heroes, but you'll likely see him return in the future with some changes, which I'm more than happy with.
Yeah, so our hero pool is now ginormous. Like, it's just huge. There's so many heroes, and I love it. I love that they didn't, like, rotate 6 other heroes out to put the dragons in. Like, yeah, the more variety and the more heroes that we have in the pool means the less my lobbies are going to look the same. So I am down for this.
I had multiple games today without Tyrion in the lobby.
Which is just crazy, because I was having, like, every single lobby that I was going into for the past probably 3 or 4 weeks had Tyrion, Rafam, Van Cleef, and either Rat Dude or Yogg. Like, one of the two buy things and buff things, and then a Daryl. Like, that's 5 to 6 of the heroes in the lobby, and I was choosing one of those usually as well. But like 5 or 6 of the heroes in the lobby, I knew going in. And, you know, there was the change to Floating Watcher that kind of made AFK go away a little bit. Like her, whatchamacallit, her win rate dropped a little bit, which was good, because then it meant that almost like freed up a spot in the lobby. But like, man, my lobbies were so similar for so long. I am ready for this shakeup.
Yeah. Likewise, it's good. It's good all around. I have nothing else to add. I agree with you entirely. I've never agreed with you more.
Yay!
They also removed a ton of minions, 10 minions to be exact. I'm just going to rapid fire this. Shielded Minibot, Annoy-o-tron, Mounted Raptor, Phalanx Commander, psych-o-tron, Tortolan Shellraiser, Piloted Sky Golem, Festeroot Hulk, Boogie Monster, and Sated Threshodon are all gone. I'm
so mad about the Sky Golem.
I know.
So mad.
I know. I'm actually really mad about psych-o-tron.
It was my favorite Battlegrounds minion. I can't. Ugh.
I'm sorry. I'm mad about psych-o-tron.
I'm so mad.
And I breezed through this earlier, and I thought it was Annoy-o-tron. So, but I guess it was. I thought it was only Annoy-o-tron.
Yeah.
And so I was like,
I think the one you're thinking about is you thought it was maybe the magnetized dude, the super Annoy-o-tron. I can't remember what he's actually called.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. No. I just literally thought it was just Annoy-o-tron. I forgot that psych-o-tron had also been mentioned in the rundown, because I just kind of skimmed this earlier. Because I'm like, yeah, I was at the summit. I know all this. Turns out some of this I didn't even notice at the summit. And yeah, psych-o-tron, I'm missing big time. I really miss psych-o-tron. Turned out it was kind of a big piece of the puzzle to how I tend to draft mech. And I'm noticing psych-o-tron's absence quite a bit. Also, it was just a solid minion to have to just, you want a taunt in most comps that you run, and a Divine Shield taunt is great because it soaks up 2 attacks.
Yeah, that he was basically great as just a mid-game minion just to have regardless, whether you're doing mechs or not. I just loved having him there. And, you know, if you got into a tight spot, you could buff him up a little bit. Like, he was just great to have regardless of what you were trying to build behind him. He was just a really, really solid option. So yeah, I think he's probably the one. Him and Mounted Raptor, actually, I think, are probably the 2 that I saw most often. I definitely saw Boogie Monster and Festeroot Hulk in Tyrion builds, but outside of Tyrion, like, nobody picked them. So I think that that's the only hero. It's almost like a soft nerf to Tyrion, and I think that's a really good thing. But yeah, I don't know. I think Mounted Raptor, a lot of people were picking. Psych-o-tron, a lot of people were picking. Piloted Sky Golem was my bae, and I was always picking, but I guess I was the only one. But yeah, apparently there just were way more mechs in Battlegrounds, which is why like Psych-o-tron was kind of just a solid pick, regardless of what you were running. Is just there were so many mechs that, you know, he just was offered a lot. But yeah, like there's some minions aren't performing well. Oh,
yeah.
Tear.
You know, I don't want to steamroll past that too quick. You're right. A lot of the mid options for Tyrion are gone now.
Yeah, the Tortolin, the Festerood, the Boogie Monster, like all of those were kind of, or even the Failings Commander,
tier
very
4,
much Tyrion minions.
Tier 4, now you kind of like Bolvar or die. Like,
yeah.
Your other option now is Defender of Argus. Who wants to buff that? Or Vermin Sensei.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
and Menagerie Magician. Okay, there's another one in there. But you're talking about.
But those are all kinds of things that you kind of want to get rid of. Like you never wanted to get rid of your Hulks. You didn't want to get rid of your Green Monsters. You didn't want to get rid of your Commanders. You wanted those things to just sit on your board and just get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So yeah. I really think that this was like, as much as Tyrion himself didn't get changed, I think just changing the minion pool was enough to kind of take him down a notch. By the way, and I would like to see how he's performing like post this patch.
Yeah. Annoy-o module. That was the name of the damn thing we were trying to remember.
Annoy-o module. Yes.
I always forget the name of that one. Yeah. I have to say, I cannot believe Cobalt Guardian is still in the rotation.
Yeah, I'm surprised that dodged when they were looking for mechs that were, seeing a lot of play or whatever, like just looking for mechs to remove, like that would have been at the top of my list. But I wonder if they left it in because a lot of the other stuff in the kind of mid game with the addition of dragons, like just is way more powerful. And if they had removed Cobalt, then that would have made mechs too weak in the mid game. And maybe they just left Cobalt in because that's what they think that mechs are going to need to compete as a viable tribe in Battlegrounds to not fall off too far. So that's the only thing I can kind of think of, is that they were just, because Cobalt is so strong, he's basically like the flagship for the mech tribe. I'm wondering if they thought it was just better to leave him in for now and then, make sure that people can still play a mech comp without being too punished by all of this new stuff that's coming in. So that's my read on the situation anyways, is that they wanted to make sure that mechs were still viable and strong, and Cobalt they know is viable and strong. So, just don't touch him for now, see how everything else shakes out. And if, it's time, next time we have a big rotation, then, I think people are more sick of playing against it, as opposed to him being like way crazy OP. Like he's really good, but yeah.
Yeah, it's quite a bit of a backbone. So I'm very much kind of in the same headspace as you. So I think, and also my comments about, I think annoy-o-tron and psych-o-tron being this more ubiquitous options for damn near any draft to just kind of tap into to get a double soaking taunt. Mm-hmm. So it'd be interesting because mechs would be kind of like, actually, I think quite funky without Cobalt Guardian. Just the Cobalt Guardian is very, very good. So.
Especially with taking my Sky Golem out.
Yeah, interesting for sure. I think at this point, if they take Cobalt out, I think we need to get something else in that can be a bit of a carry in the mech
through
draft.
the mid game. Yeah. And maybe the problem with Cobalt is that it's really good mid game when it's just a 6/3. But then he kind of scales a lot, and maybe the problem isn't how good he is in the mid game. The problem is how good he is consistently into end game, and that's more of the problem. So maybe they need to take him out and put a Battleground specific minion in that can carry that mid game, but then is something that you might want to get rid of instead of hanging on to and trying to get two of and buff up all the other things that you do with Cobalt. So yeah.
And then
that's my read anyway.
Yeah, I agree. And then finally, there were some game improvements and bug fixes. I'm not going to mention them all, but there were two that I thought were rather impactful. One is that they sped up animations from 0.8 of a second to 0.2 of a second across all game modes for Overkill, Lifesteal, Poisonous Inspire, and cards that reference whenever and after in their text outside of some special cases. So this is not specific to Battlegrounds.
Right, this is everywhere.
Yes, but we have Overkill on Battlegrounds now, so it does affect Battlegrounds. And then Recruit will no longer be displayed on the turn timer in Battlegrounds when a player is about to lose.
Right. So I think we mentioned this a couple times over the last couple of months, but I didn't want to actually come out and say it because it's the kind of thing that you probably wouldn't notice. But if you did notice it, it could completely ruin either like your experience if you're looking at, watching how your games are playing out, or if you're watching Twitch streams. Like once you see it, you can't unsee it. And so I didn't want to say what it actually was, but prior to this patch, if you had lost in Battlegrounds, then instead of saying combat on where the end turn button is, it would say recruit. So you would know as soon as you got into combat whether you had won or lost the game. And, you know, if you're a crazy, ridiculous optimist like me, I'd be like, well, it says recruit, but maybe I can still do it. And I never could. Yeah. But yeah, that was the thing that we kept tiptoeing around because I didn't want to like burst anybody's bubble or tell anyone what the actual problem was. But I think someone in chat had even asked like why some streamers had like ads over the end turn button or like funny GIFs or pictures or something. And that's why they were trying to hide the result from the stream. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Twitch drops, which I got to say, I didn't know we were allowed to have Twitch drops anymore.
I'm surprised. But I mean, Twitch is the only platform, as far as I know, that is doing something like this, where by interacting with the platform, you're actually able to get rewards in games. Maybe we'll see more of this sort of stuff from YouTube with Stadia.
Yeah, I mean, I was mostly just making a bad joke, a really lazy joke. I think it's a good thing, right? Because like so many people still stream Hearthstone on Twitch. Like it's kind of irrelevant.
Oh, yeah.
You want to support the people streaming your game. I think
you don't want to punish your community, right? For a decision that a higher up made.
Yeah, right. Like if you or I are streaming Hearthstone, like yeah, it's nice, whatever. I don't really, I really am personally not in a tizzy about them going to YouTube. I know a lot of people are. I watched it just the same. But like if I'm streaming Hearthstone, it's like I'd like to get in on this. I don't want you to not have this on Twitch if that's where I choose to stream your game. So I think it's great. On top of the fact that, yeah, you're probably right. It's probably because Twitch is like the only place with this kind of interactivity at the moment.
Yeah, at the moment. I do expect that we'll probably see some changes to that. But I mean, yeah, right now you are going to be able, actually, I think possibly even right now on our stream, are we streaming Hearthstone?
I do put us under Hearthstone for the show. Yeah, I put us under Hearthstone for the show. Yep. So yeah, starting today and running through February 29th, will end at 5 p.m. Pacific on February 29th. If you watch 3 total hours of any Hearthstone stream on Twitch, you're going to get 1 Descent of Dragons card pack. If you watch 6 hours, it can be consecutive or non-consecutive, you're going to get another pack. The watch time accumulates across the entire Hearthstone category. So as long as your Battle.net and Twitch accounts are linked, you are good to go. You don't need to watch it all at once, but you can if you really want.